Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be working on David's 110. At the minute it doesn't move, the gearbox or the transfer box is playing up, it's stuck in the middle neutral position. So no go. So rather than unload it off the trailer, we're going to do work on the trailer and then drive it off once we've got the gearbox or the transfer box fixed. Sounds like a plan. Well, let's jump into it. So this is what's wrong. This is exactly what my 110 did as well. The high-low lever's gone all wobbly and it's become disconnected. So first thing I'm going to do is take out the fuse box cover, take this off and lift the transmission tunnel out, and then we can get to the linkage and repair that. So it shouldn't take long.
We'll be away.
So that's the transmission tunnel cover off, and we found the issue straight away. It's really simple. Let's get down. It's just the pin has fell out. So we'll get a new pin on that and make sure the split pins through it properly, and that shouldn't happen again. I think I was just told it didn't have drive. It's in neutral, but I think it's just that pin. So I think put that in, then we'll get it back into the out of the diff lock position and into low range or high range, and then we'll be away. Well, that was a super easy fix. Got a new pin through there, nice little split pin on there. That's not going to come out. If they were all like this would be a walk in the park.
This would be a good day. It would be gravy. It would be like gravy, gravy, gravy day. As it is, they're not. We're happy with this.
Next job, let's put it all back together again, then we can get it off the ramp.
Recombobulate, and should be good to go.
Right, let's see if it'll drive. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Worked. And the diff lock light's gone off, so it's all good. So that's the front end pulled off. It didn't take very long. I've got the radiator pack and intercooler out, the front grill's off, the headlights out. We're going to be fitting new headlights anyway, that's why we removed these. The oil cooler lines are disconnected from the radiator. Next thing to do is take the water pump off, and then we can get the front cover off the engine and change the timing belt. We're going to put new bearings on as well. Right, let's get it all taken apart. So guys, that's the water pump off. Next thing to do is take off the front pulley. So, got my big Milwaukee out, pull that front pulley off. That was tight.
That came off really easy. I'm not sure if that's a good sign or not. But it looks in good condition. Rubber's not gone all cracked and horrible. So that's good. Right, pull the front cover off and we'll get to the timing belt. When I'm undoing stuff like that, I like this little Milwaukee because it's not too much. It's one of the, it's just an impact one with an adapter in it. But it actually is bang on for these little bolts because the big one, if it's stuck, it'll just snap the head straight off. That one's really good for that sort of stuff. Whoa, it's a good job we're doing the belt because it's walking off the front. So if you guys can see that. So that belt's been walking off, rubbing on that front case. That's a really bad sign. Right, I'll get the little camera and show you the belt. So guys, that's the issue. The belt's walking off the front of that pulley. I've seen this a couple of times on 300 TDIs. You see it's chewing on the edge of the belt up. Last time it was a problem with the idler. I hope it's that because I've got a new idler for this. So we'll get it round to number 1, put the locking pin in and pull the belt off. Right, locking pin's in. It's a 9.5 millimetre. So if you need to do it, it's just 9.5 mil drill bit. Put it backwards. And that's the belt off. Easy as that. So that's the belt on, all nice and cleaned out, and the new pulley in place. The old pulley had quite a lot of play in the bearing, so that's the reason the belt was trying to walk off. Next job is I'm just going to turn it over a couple of times, check my timing marks, and then start putting it back together. So guys, this is the next day. I've got the front cover on, water pump on. I've just been and picked up some brand new belts. We're going to put those on, then I can build the front up. The radiator is a bit corroded at the bottom, so David's going to take that, paint the bottom of the radiator, clean all that up. Then we'll put the radiator back in, and that's the Cambelt, and then bits and bobs done. Oil and filter, fuel filters to change. We're going to give it a general check over, and then we're going to go on to the gearbox oils, diff oils, front globe oils, and make sure the axle breathers are clear and all that sort of stuff. Just give it a really good service, ready for its trip. Right, I'll put these bits back on and then we'll get the radiator pack painted and put in. So that's all the front end back together. I'll show you this corrosion. It's just on the bottom edge of the radiator. So David's just going to take that, paint the radiator, and then we'll put it back together. Then that's the Cambelt done, move on to the rest of the service work. So yeah, looking good so far.
Right guys, it's the next day. We've got all the radiator pack and everything back in it. David's painted the bottom of the radiator and it all looks nice and clean. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to get it up in the air and Brendan's going to start draining all the diffs, and we're going to get all the diff oil changed, gearbox oil changed, transfer box oil changed, ready to go.
Get some fresh fluids in there and she's going to be good to go for the trip.
Right, so let's get it up and get going and get straight into it. First thing, we're just going to pull the diff guard off because with that in the way we can't get to the drain bump. We'll pop that off and we'll drain it all out.
So we've just dropped the rear cover off. Now we can drain the gear oil and clean the breather out. The axle breather on this one is actually bunged up, so this needs drilling out, and then we'll just blow through it with the airline, make sure it's clear. It's really important that you do this every time because these do get bunged up quite quickly. Right guys, I'm going to try and show you, I haven't dropped the oil out of this one yet. If you take the bottom bung out and it glugs, see that? It probably means your axle breather's blocked. I've already loosened the top one to make sure it will undo. You see, if I undo that top one, it'll come out clean. As soon as it can get air. Won't quite quick enough. But yeah, I can nearly guarantee that axle breather's bunged on this one as well. So we'll get into that in a minute. So while Brendan's just filling the front diff with gear oil, I'm greasing all the prop shafts and making sure all the ball joints are all greased. So we're just dropping oil out the transfer case. As you can see, Brendan's sniffing it. It smells terrible. That's a really good indication that it is desperately in need of a change. If it smells bad, it's time to put fresh oil in. The oil filler we're using is an old outboard gear case filler. I find it's the easiest way to fill them back up because you can pressurise it with the compressor and you don't have to keep pumping. You can just stick it in the hole and turn it on and it'll fill the transfer box up. So we've got most of the service work done now. I've still got the gearbox oil to change, but the next thing, I'm just waiting for some oil for that. So the next thing, David's got some new lights. These are Y-pack ones, just take a standard bulb. He's not keen on LED, so we're going to go with them. And then we're going to change the plastic front covers to Series 3 covers because he likes the more old-fashioned look. So he needs to just G3 that, clean all that up, put the headlight buckets back in, put the new bulbs in. And what I'm also going to do, because it's got these stupid push connectors and they're all rubbish, I'm going to put them on some nice 2-pin plugs so everything stays watertight. We can sort some of this wiring mess out. So that's the little plug. It's got little tiny seals in there, it keeps the water out. They're really good actually. Just unplug if you need one off. You can buy a cheap kit from Amazon. You get loads in it. The only thing you need is a little crimping tool, and everything plugs together. Keeps all the water out, and you've got a reliable connection. Just got to do that 3 more times, and that's all the front lights done. Then put the headlights in. So that's all 4 of the lights popped in. I'll just show you. Nice plugs on them all. So when David's out on his adventures, if he gets a blown bulb or a damaged light, you can just unplug it and replace it. We can do some replacement lights. So he's got some spares and they just plug straight in. No wiring to struggle with. Right, headlight buckets, and then the Series 3 bezels can go on, and front end back together. So we're going to drop the oil out of the it's got an LT77 gearbox in this one. There's a drain on the side and one underneath. The one underneath houses a small filter which can be removed and cleaned. You can replace it or you can clean them out with brake cleaner if they're not all too badly contaminated. Right, we'll get the oil out and go from there. And that's the plug lock. It's got a little bit of metal filings on there, but it's not too bad. I've seen them come out and they look like a hedgehog, which is not ideal. So that's the main gearbox drain on the side, and then that one there, you get to the filter through there. So you see that little plastic white piece? That's the filter that just pulls out, and then to refill it, it's that bung on the side. So it is important, just remember to pull that off and clean that filter out as well, because that often gets missed as well. So guys, that's the filter. It's not absolutely terrible, as you can see. It would have been getting oil, no problem at all, but it does want a quick wash to get all them little bits of steel off it. Pop that back in, and then we'll refill it with fresh oil. So, going to service the front globes. That is the fill, and underneath here is the drain. I pulled the drain out and it's full of one-shot grease. There's a one-shot grease that the Landrover used in the later ones, and obviously this has been done with it on its last service. David said it's not been long since it was last serviced, so we will not bother doing those two, because the one-shot grease is it's a much longer life product. So I think it's time to put it back on the ground. So I've just pulled David's Blue 110 out and pushed my OM606 build back in. This is coming along really well now. I've got the bottom radiator hose that I've built, a few other little bits. The injection pump is ordered, it's on the way. I've got an oil cooler sorted for it. I've got the front wings all painted, they're all nice. It's coming along really well. Next video, this will be running. It's not far away now, so if you're interested in that, that'll be a cool video when this thing fires up. Right, let's go across the road and have a look at the finished 110. So guys, I think that's given David a really good start on the service work for his 110. There's obviously more we could have done, wheel bearings, valve clearances, etc. I think we are going to do the valve clearances for him, but he's going to take it from this point on, any more work and prepping it for his overlanding trip. In the next video, I'm going to have my injection pump here for my OM606. We're going to install that, install the oil lines, and we want to hear it running in the next video. That'd be really looking forward to hearing that thing run, and looking forward to making that video as well. Thanks for watching, and please consider subscribing. Everyone that subscribes, it really does help the channel along. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.